I've been pretty fortunate here the last couple of tournaments. I got fortunate and won both of them, so that doesn't happen very often in your career. And to do it back to back is just awesome. But the one at Muskogee was on the Arkansas River, and we had a big flood, and I was catching them pretty good, and I was going to do pretty good. And I got a text message from Trill, and it said, "Move to Fort Gibson." So I called him. I said, "Who put you up to this?" I figured the service crew boys are always playing jokes. And Tripp said, 6 o'clock, be down here, we're moving to Fort Gibson. I never made another cast. I grew up on Fort Gibson for over 40 years. They had one day of practice, which I kind of felt bad for that part of it, but I mowed the yard that day because I knew what I was going to do and where I was going to do it. So it worked out good. And then come here, Cherokee is just really, I just can't believe I won the tournament. I didn't get here the first day of practice till about noon, and usually I'm never late, and I just couldn't get motivated to come. And so I had a lot of things to do. I've got to go to Vegas here in a day or so, and then back to the top 12 deal at Alabama. Got to get the truck wrapped in between times, and so I just got a lot of things to do. And I thought, man, I really don't need to go over there, but PAA, they need the support. I've always supported them. Paid my dues ever since there was a PAA. So so I better get in the truck and come on. So all worked out great.
Anything else, Cody?
You feel like the wave of momentum you're riding could carry over into the PAA, into the Bassmaster postseason chase?
Oh, yeah. Yep. And that's what I told my friends. I told them, I said, well, you're only as good as your last tournament. And I said, I kind of like to keep mine, the last one, as a winning, going into the last two events for bass. And last year I had two good finishes. I should have won one of them if I could have counted. And the other one I came in second. So I'm really looking forward to both of them. So, it's a pitching, flipping, river fishing type tournaments, both of them. So I can't wait.
So you'll still be able to make the Biffle bug work for you down there?
Last year. That was the first time that I used the Biffle bug last year. We just got the mold done in time to use them during those two tournaments.
Now the fact that you won this tournament with the heaviest weight on the final day of the tournament, do you attribute that to the fact that you ran new water every day and you kept moving? Do you feel like there's a lot of areas got depleted?
Yeah, because I knew that there's not a whole lot of bushes in the lake. I mean, there's a lot of them if you're just fishing for a day or two or something, there's plenty. And then if there's not very many guys doing it. So the third day of practice, I knew what I was wanting to do was fish bushes. I rode around the lake all the way around, and every cove that had a bush or a willow in it, I poked it on my GPS. So I didn't have to run and look for bushes and willows in different pockets, and ride the lake. I just went from one to the next one to the next one. And the first 2 days, I fished one side of the lake where I had bites. I had like 13 or 14 bites in the practice. And I fished those the first day, and the others on the other side the second day. And today I run all new water.
We hear so much about tournaments being won by not spotted bass, but guys fishing on a spot, camping on a spot and fighting for territory and stuff like that. You actually were able to run a true pattern then and get out and expand and run a pattern on a fairly small lake.
Yeah, and it's a fairly small lake compared to what we're used to, So I was really kind of surprised, cutting it to 30 boats helped, because yesterday, after the first day, a lot of guys that didn't catch them out deep and stuff moved to shallow, and so there's a lot of people fishing shallow yesterday. So it was a big help to get to cut 30 boats, and that cut down, a lot of the fishermen.
And you hit on something there that's become a theme this week. Can you expound on the value of fishing so shallow in the summertime? Everybody, the conventional wisdom's always been, well, they get out on those ledges and they get deep. And now they dropped this lake 2 feet this week. If they're going to get on ledges, you would think they'd have done it this week. Yet all the guys that did well seem to be beyond shallow. I mean, real shallow.
Yeah, and that just comes from experience in Oklahoma. The lake I live on, Fort Gibson, in the summertime, it's 100 degrees. The water's in the 90s. You can catch them 6 inches deep. So boat traffic is what really helps that. The wave action puts oxygen in the water up shallow. So that really helps.
Does it help too to be back in a creek where it's shady, I guess, as opposed to out in the hot water?
Not really. You'd really rather be it on the main body of water where you could get the wave action and the boat traffic, and especially Clear Lake like this one to stir the bottom up, you know, to make it kind of milky looking. But in this lake, there's not very many bushes out on the main part of the lake. Most all of them are back in the ditches, back in the pockets, and you know, that wasn't where you'd really want to say the pattern was, you know. But as tough a tournament as it was, you was just picking them here and there wherever you could get a bite. So
Yeah.
that's why it worked out.